Have you got gut microbiome, that is?
Yeah, well, you do. We just want to find out if it's good enough, if diverse, if it's helping your health. We're going to talk all about it today. Welcome to Talking with Docs. I'm Dr. Brad Weenie.
And I'm Dr. Paul Zalzal. I guess you don't if you're a newborn baby. Like the instant you're
Yeah,
born.
there's a moment there where maybe you don't.
You don't have a gut microbiome, but it's very short.
First, I'll apologize for kicking it old school here. I was on call last night. I was getting on calls all night long, and I forgot to bring my proper scrubs. So I'm like circa 2021 or something.
We'll give you a pass. You're doing a service. You're on call. Thank you. Thank you for your service.
Okay, so what is your gut microbiome? What is it?
So the gut microbiome, spoiler alert, there are over 100 trillion bacteria living in your gut. Okay, 100 trillion. That's almost as many times as we've worn these scrubs as opposed to those scrubs. In your gut. And they live there with you in a symbiotic fashion. What does symbiotic mean? It means two organisms sort of intimately related, living together, and it can be a mutualism sort of relationship. That's where both benefit. That's the situation with the bacteria in our guts. It can be a commensalism kind of relationship. That's more like a bird nesting in a tree helps the bird, doesn't do anything for the tree.
Right.
And then it can be a parasitic relationship. That's where you get like a tick on a dog or
tapeworm.
Tapeworm in your gut, for example. But luckily, the 100 trillion bacteria that outnumber us live in a mutualism way with us. They benefit us, and we benefit them.
Right, and they play never have we been more aware. The last, I feel like 10 years or so, we're really learning that your gut microbiome and those bacteria play a role in almost every aspect of your health.
Absolutely. So let's get it out of the way how we benefit them. We give them a nice...
Oh, I was going to say, let's get it out of the way. How did we end up with bacteria in our colon?
Oh, okay.
Like how does your gut microbiome get populated? And all of our gut microbiomes are unique to us.
Right.
I mean, there's a lot of similarity between us, but what makes us different are the diseases that we have, the way that we process food. All of that is influenced by the specific bacteria that are in your colon, and those are there because of your exposures the minute you're born. So, for example, when you are born, particularly a vaginal birth, you are instantly exposed to bacteria from the mother's vagina, as well as the close proximity of the GI tract, as well as the environment.
What do you mean close proximity to the GI tract?
It's really close to the anus.
Right.
Right. Yes.
Welcome to life, kid.
Yeah.
You might as well get used to it early.
Right. So, but these are helpful. And similarly, so the difference though is to say a C-section baby, it's different because you're not exposed to the vaginal canal or the GI tract. So instead, your gut microbiome is colonized more by the skin bacteria of your mom, as well as the bacteria that are in the hospital.
Fair. Yeah.
Right. So what they've shown is that most of our gut microbiome gets populated over the first 3 years of our lives. And the differences between C-section and vaginal birth are real with respect to allergies and diversity and some other diseases like inflammatory conditions like celiac disease, but it kind of evens out over time.
Yeah, because if you can imagine, these 100 trillion bacteria are always turning over, dying, living, dying, new ones coming in, old ones going out.
Right.
So don't be alarmed that you're hooked with that gut microbiome if you were born by a C-section or vaginal birth. Don't worry about that later in life because you can reboot it. But it may cause some problems or changes or challenges early in life that might stick with you, like allergies and things like that.
And what I would say is you're not 100% predestined, but you can't totally turn over your microbiome, but there are things you can do to influence it in a positive way.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk about those at the end.
Yeah, other things before the age of 3 that happens is if you live with pets, people are shown to have a more diverse microbiome. You know, kids that play outside and like not quite eating dirt, but kind of eating dirt, right? So when you're in a playground, you're exposed to other kids, you're exposed to all sorts of organisms. So not just bacteria, viruses, fungi, molds, yeast, all that stuff populates your gut microbiome.
And you can see the trend has kind of changed as we've learned this, because years ago it used to be boil everything, sterilize everything with an infant. You know what I mean? Everything was sterile before it touched the infant's mouth. And nowadays we've kind of leaned a little bit away from that kind of stuff and exposure to different foods a little earlier than we used to years ago.
And even breast milk has low levels of bacteria that also help facilitate gut microbiome diversity.
And definitely from the skin.
Yeah.
Okay, so so we offer the bacteria something, they offer us something, right?
Yes.
We offer them a nice, cozy, warm place to live.
Yes.
May not smell very nice, but hey, beggars can't be choosers.
Yeah.
And what do they do for us? Can we jump into that stuff?
Yeah, so bacteria are really responsible for breaking down a lot of our food,
Okay.
right? And then critically, as you get down into the small and large intestine, bacteria help create a bunch of different things. So I'd say the first thing they do is they break down fibers.
Fiber. Okay.
Yes.
So what is fiber? Is that food type of food that we eat? Fiber comes from plant cells usually. If you remember back to grade 10 biology, animal cells and plant cells are very similar, but there's a few key differences. One of those key differences is the cell wall.
Right.
The cell wall around a plant cell gives it shape and structure, and that is where the majority of the fiber is that we eat. And there's two types of fiber.
There are.
Soluble
Yep.
and insoluble.
Right.
The insoluble fiber is like things like cellulose, which is basically what a big part of wood is made out of, right?
Yep.
You don't digest it. The bacteria can't even really don't have enough time to break it down to any significant way. So it just transits through your system. It's like the cleanup crew. It's like the subway. It just helps get the stuff through your GI tract, or that's what we think.
Right. And then soluble types of fiber, things like inulin from allium plants like garlic and onions and leeks, or pectin like from apples and other fruits. These are soluble types of fiber that the bacteria can ferment.
Yes.
So they break them down and they really create short chain fatty acids, free fatty acids. And the three main ones are acetate, butyrate, and propionate. And these have very specific functions as far as sugar metabolism. It affects your liver on the rates of cholesterol production. It helps play a role in the making of immune cells. So these short chain fatty acids really help alter your metabolism in a positive way and improve your immune function.
So now you know why people are saying, eat your fiber, eat your fiber. It's absolutely necessary to help keep these trillion bacteria healthy and diversified.
Right. So can we maybe go down like through a top 5 list of things that a healthy gut microbiome does for you? Like what are the pros of a healthy gut microbiome?
Remember, in our symbiotic mutualism relationship, we gave them a nice cozy place to live and we give them fiber and stuff to feed them.
Right.
They do for us. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with immune system?
Yeah, but before you leave a comment. If you have an opinion about the gut microbiome, if you have some thoughts, if you have some hacks, let us know what you're thinking about your gut microbiome and stuff that you've learned about it.
Yeah.
Okay, immune, sure.
So a huge part, I think 70% of our immune system lives and depends on our gut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the way that works is that the microbiome helps our immune system see and recognize what kind of threats there are coming into your system and what kind of things that are coming into your system aren't a threat, and helps train and program your immune system to know when to attack something and when not.
Right. Okay, number 2 for me would be like your metabolism. So good evidence to show that a healthy gut microbiome allows you to have better insulin sensitivity, reduced chance of diabetes, and even obesity. So it helps regulate your metabolism in a positive way by having these healthy bacteria that are breaking down your fiber into short-chain free fatty acids.
Okay, the next one for me is one of the newer ones that we're learning about, we're realizing about, and it's really surprising and shocking, this sort of gut-brain axis or gut-brain relationship, because there have been a lot of studies that show the relationship between your gut microbiome and things like stress, anxiety, depression, those kind of mental health issues that many of us deal with and we're learning more and more about. And the gut microbiome is very different when you're suffering from those conditions compared to if you're not.
Sure. Understandably, for me, number 4 is actually your physical gut health. So when you have a healthy gut microbiome, this reduces the chance of you having things like irritable bowel syndrome. It helps preserve that mucus lining of your intestines that helps protect you from some of the toxins that are passing out of your body. As if you have an unhealthy gut microbiome, that mucus can get broken down. You can develop that wall that used to be protective, now becomes more permeable. You can absorb more toxins. The controversy around having a true leaky gut maybe is not necessarily a real thing. It's controversial right now. But at the end of the day, the way that your body processes things going through your colon as well as the toxins is improved with a healthy gut microbiome.
Okay, so anything else there?
The last one for me would be chronic disease, particularly things like cancer. There's good evidence to show that particularly colon cancer has a lower incidence of people with a healthy gut microbiome because of those beneficial bacteria.
Fair. Okay, so those protective things. And now if you think about it, one of the surprising facts is that the microbiome, so this ecosystem in your gut, the genetic information there is about 150 times more than your own genetic
Right.
information. And your
Yeah.
genetic information, your genes are what help you make things. They carry the blueprints for what proteins you're going to make, what building blocks you're going to make. So all the things that you make that make you you, in your gut, there's 150 times more of that genetic information.
It's wild.
So that just helps convince you how important it is at your body making things that it needs. So
I was gonna say what's really, I think, unique about that too is that it really changes the way that we interact with our world, and particularly the way that we interact with food. There have been studies that show, like, say 4 people eat an apple. The way that your body processes that food, the way that your blood glucose responds, all those interactions are very unique. And so this is commonly thought to be why diseases present differently, why some people battle obesity more, why people respond to different things differently, because our bacteria inside of us is so different.
it is, and it just shows how amazing the gut is.
Amazing.
Right? I don't understand why the heart gets all the glory, right? Those cardiologists with their heart,
Yeah.
with the heart, right? Like, I'm in love. It's my heart. It's
Yeah,
my
Valentine's
heart, right?
Day.
And Cupid.
Yeah, Cupid.
Riddle me this.
Valentine.
Why does Cupid got to shoot you in the heart?
I don't know.
Look at me. I finally found love. Now I'm dead.
Yeah, don't
Shit,
shoot me
not.
in the colon.
Shoot me in the appendix,
Yeah.
the gallbladder.
Don't do that.
Shoot me in the kidney. At least I got another one. Gives me a fighting chance.
Yes.
Cupid is stupid. All right. So, what are things you can do?
Oh, can we do one thing before? I was going to say, what things do you do that wreck it? And then we
I
could
was
go
gonna
to
go
the
the
things
other way.
that you can. Oh, okay. You want to say?
Yeah, things you can do to keep it healthy.
Okay.
I mean, let's start with a positive note.
Okay.
Things you can do to keep it healthy. We just said how important fiber is to this gut microbiome. So make sure you're eating an adequate and diverse amount of fiber.
Right. So the average North American gets about 15 grams.
Not enough.
The average nutritionist would recommend about 30 grams. The average gut scientist would recommend 50 grams.
I mean, that's a lot more grams than we're getting.
Right.
And the way you get this is with your plant-based foods
Yep.
and a diverse amount of them, like not just the same head of lettuce every day.
Right, and then some people get into that habit, right, of
Yeah.
picking very specific foods to be really, really healthy, but you do want a diverse group, and a lot. You need a lot of fiber.
Okay. Next thing you can do to help.
So you consider fermented foods. So we talked about, so fiber essentially is a prebiotic, which is a food for the bacteria. And people talk about probiotics, and these are foods that contain live bacteria.
Yeah.
So this would be things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, kombucha. Miss Tammy?
There's some pickles if it's not done
Yes,
in vinegar.
for fermented pickles, yeah.
Yeah.
And all this stuff has to be non-pasteurized because pasteurization will kill it. Or if it is pasteurized, they have to add the live cultures afterwards.
Pasteurization is what you raise something, thanks Louis Pasteur,
Yes.
which you, thank God for this, you
We'd be
had to
dead.
sterilize something. You raise something to a high enough temperature, over 100 degrees Celsius, and it kills any bacteria in it. So
Right.
that you can have stuff that doesn't have pathologic bacteria in it.
Right. And what fermentation is actually bacteria, or yeast even, taking a carbohydrate, metabolizing it without oxygen, and creating these short-chain free fatty acids.
Yeah.
That's what fermentation is, and
There you go.
this is good for us. So the thought behind probiotics is not that you're necessarily eating specific bacteria, and then those are going down to your colon and then kind of taking up residence. It's much more complicated than that. It's kind of like going into the forest. If you planted a bunch of seeds, some of those seeds would take, but a lot of them actually wouldn't. But the probiotics, while they're there, can help make the environment healthier for your gut bacteria that maybe are damaged or are lower counts to facilitate the growth of the stuff that's there, but maybe just wasn't optimized.
Okay. So now you've said probiotics a lot.
Yes.
What about a probiotic supplement?
Yeah, so I think that's controversial, and I'd say in some very specific settings it may play a role, but commonly the supplements are not particularly useful.
The studies haven't shown that they do
Yeah.
a lot.
I think it's a big business, and I think people are trying to do the right thing, but A, they're very expensive, and B, unless we'll talk about a couple scenarios that maybe they're beneficial, but most people do not require a supplement specifically.
Okay. And if you don't believe that this microbiome is so important right now yet, consider this. There is a field of medicine that is growing, and that is fecal transplants, where they actually transplant fecal matter from one person to another to treat certain conditions. Right now, it's really only medically indicated if you have an infection known as C. difficile, where one bacteria in your gut takes over and starts damaging your intestines and giving you diarrhea and making you quite ill.
Yep.
And if the regular treatments with the certain medications don't work, that's actually an option as a fecal transplant.
Interesting.
And it's being researched in a lot of other conditions to be used.
Right, because you can essentially test your feces to assess your gut microbiome and say, hey, you have lots of these and lots of these, but it looks like you're really low for this, and this seems to be related to this disease, with the thought being that you could receive those supplements and to change your gut microbiome.
Yeah. And now imagine being that fecal transplant doctor at a party. Okay,
No,
I'm the guy.
actually,
I'm at a party, okay, and I meet you and ask me what I do.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in the transplant business.
Oh, yeah, hearts?
No.
Lungs?
Uh-uh.
Kidneys?
You're getting close. I do fecal transplant. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm going to go get some more punch.
All right, maybe not the most glamorous job, but it is a growing field of science, and it is actually indicated in some treatments already, fecal transplant. That's how important the gut microbiome is.
Right. I'd say a couple other things that you could do to kind of keep your gut microbiome healthy in addition to those things. I'd say don't
try the fecal transplant at home. That's not what we're recommending.
No, but some people do try it at home. And actually there's a documentary on Netflix right now called Hack Your Health.
Yeah.
And a couple of people there did it. Thankfully in some type of cellulose capsule.
Yeah.
You'd want to make sure that you got it inside of the capsule and maybe rinsed it off or something.
Yeah, don't.
A bit weird.
Not yet. It's not ready for prime time.
Not ready for prime time. But what I would say is, back to the pillars of health, stress has been shown to significantly negatively affect your gut microbiome because of elevated levels of cortisol and chronic inflammation. And same with even sleep, the way that it disrupts your circadian rhythm.
Right. Other things you can do to damage it are antibiotics. Right?
Yep.
Sometimes you need to take antibiotics, but don't take them willy-nilly if you don't need them, because that's what they are, antibiotics. Just a lot of them work by killing the cell wall to kill the bacteria. And guess what? There's a lot of collateral damage there, which is your healthy microbiome. And a lot of you feel that if you take antibiotics for a while, your gut feels different, right? Your stools look different. You feel unwell from the antibiotics.
Okay, so let's. So I guess we're shifting to the things that are bad for it now. Okay, so antibiotics are bad because they selectively kill a bunch of bacteria, which are necessary. But good studies have shown that the increasing number of courses and durations of antibiotics negatively affect your biodiversity as well as the number of bacteria that you have in your gut. So antibiotics for sure. Other medications, I'd say the other one is very, very common is proton pump inhibitors, because it alters the pH of your stomach, so it makes it less acidic, and this disrupts your normal kind of activity of all your bacteria. So this is another reason to think very carefully. Obviously, if you need these medications, you have to take them, but they are not without some consequence to your gut, which affects kind of your entire health.
You don't need processed food. Processed food is another killer of the microbiome. Okay, the high sugar content, the other billion chemicals in there, guess what, aren't good for those 100 trillion bacteria.
They estimate in North America 60% of the calories are from ultra-processed food.
Yeah, standard American diet, SAD. Sad.
Yeah, it is. With ultra-processed food, yes, refined sugars and carbohydrates. So carbs themselves are not bad. Actually, complex carbohydrates with their associated fiber actually are very good for you, as we just learned about your gut microbiome. But when all of the fiber is stripped through processing and you get down to refined carbs and sugar, this is bad for you. In addition to sugar, artificial sweeteners have been shown.
That's a good one too.
And honestly, I feel like I didn't feel very strongly about this before. I'm like, what's
You swing back and forth on this one all the time.
Yeah, well, no, the data showed us that it didn't cause cancer. So I'm really honestly, I'm not specifically concerned about cancer because of the data. I think there's soft to non-existent. But I think there's good evidence to show that artificial sweeteners do disrupt it. I think they totally don't understand the mechanism.
No.
And I'm trying to actively reduce my intake of artificial sweeteners.
Yeah.
And then plus the stress and the sleep that we talked about.
Yeah, the lifestyle things.
The last one?
Alcohol. I'm not going to say it.
Alcohol negatively affects your gut microbiome.
Turns out those 100 trillion bacteria don't like to party as much as humans do, and they're just not into the alcohol.
They don't. Okay, so where does this leave us?
Ironically, alcohol is a byproduct of fermentation.
Yes, and actually that's where they stop actually some levels of fermentation before it gets to alcohol. They have to stop it.
Yeah. They know better than us.
They know better. So what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on your gut microbiome?
There's a few things quick about, as we talk about your gut, a few red flags where if this is going on, this may not just be a microbiome issue. You may need to see a doctor about it. Certainly if you see blood in your stool,
100%.
Red flag. Unexplained weight loss or weight gain that you can't control, go see your doc. Chronic diarrhea, chronic constipation, those kind of things are things that you might want to get medical help for.
Yeah,
Just wanted to say that.
that's good advice. I like
There you
that.
go. Okay.
So now you know all about your gut microbiome. Don't underestimate the power of food. We preach this on our channel all the time. Eat real whole foods. This is going to help facilitate biodiversity in your colon from mouth right to the bottom.
To the exit.
If you like this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, share it with someone that you think maybe needs a little bit of help with their gut microbiome.
Be nice to your 100 trillion friends in your gut. Remember, you are in charge of your own health.
We'll see you next time.